Hi, good morning, everyone. So I just said that it was a bit awkward, so now it's even more awkward. The auditorium is a light crowd, but I'm going to make it work anyway. For everyone watching me through the camera, hi, good morning, welcome to Codam. As you can see, it's going to be a bit different because we have all these special rules for the COVID, so I hope that the waiting this morning was not too long and the rain was not too bad. But at last, everyone is in, everyone has been checked in, so we can start. And it's going to be an amazing experience. So for the next 4 weeks, you're going to enjoy our amazing selection piscine. You're going to learn about the very basics of programming and probably make friends that will stay for your whole life. So it's really going to be amazing. So for this presentation, you're going to have two hosts, myself, David, and Kat, our head of studies, who is going to introduce you to all the in and outs about the piscine. So this presentation is going to be about an hour long, so please settle in. Hi, good morning. And let's start. So first, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the whole staff so you can identify the people. So as you probably understood already, we all wear these amazing Codam shirts. We have the staff in the back, so it's easy to identify us. But you also notice that there are students who are here today to help us as well, the cats. And they wear the Cats t-shirt or just a regular Codam t-shirts because the new Cat t-shirts haven't arrived yet, but they will be delivered soon. So, first I would like to introduce the main member of the staff, Corinne Vigreux, our founder, that you probably know already. So, we are here today thanks to Corinne. For every people, I added as well the language that they speak, because this is an international school, so you make sure that different people of the staff speak different languages, so for you it's easier. So Corinne speaks fluent Dutch, English, and French, so it's an easy one. Then, myself, your servitor David, so I am the director here at Codam since the opening back in 2018, and I'm really, really happy to welcome you today for this piscine. As you know already, I am French, so I speak French, I speak okay English, and I'm learning a little bit of Dutch. I'm not there yet, but I promise that in a couple of years, I'll probably be fluent as well. Then, I would like to introduce Thomas. He's our IT manager, so he's the one who's making sure that all the computers work. So I don't know if you can walk in the field. Hey. There it is. So on the picture, it doesn't have a cap, but you should be looking for the cap. He's around. Thank you very much, Thomas. Oh, and he speaks English, French, Portuguese, Spanish, and he's also learning Dutch. Then, our amazing René, the facilities manager. So it's thanks to René that this piscine is possible at all today. He made sure that the building has been properly equipped and secured, so there is not too much risk with the coronavirus. Thank you very much, René. You're amazing. And René speaks Dutch and English. Then we have Catherine, alias Kat, the head of studies. So she's going to be my co-host for today. Hey, Kat. Kat speaks many languages, English, French, Spanish, German, and she's also learning Dutch, but she's really good at it, so you can really try your Dutch with her. It should work. Then we have Rose Peters. Oh, this is not up to date. Rose is not the head of administration anymore. She is the vice director here at Codam. She is my right hand. She speaks Dutch and English. She is working remote today, but you will probably see her from tomorrow on. Then we have the sunny Lisa Stam over there, head of communication that you probably met this morning. She welcomed you at the desk with Kat. Lisa speaks Dutch, English, and she's practicing Spanish. Hola. Then Isabel, who is also remote today. She is the head of growth and partnerships. You will probably meet her in the next couple of days. Isa is also French. She speaks English and she's learning Dutch as well. Then we have Mick, is the audio and video engineer over there. So it's thanks to him that we can have this presentation streamed to everyone. I really hope it works, otherwise it would be really awkward. So far it looks fine. Mick speaks Dutch and English, and he knows a tiny bit of French as well. Then we have Michelle over there. Michelle is the lead dev. She's taking care of all the software parts at Codam. And she speaks Dutch, English, Flemish, and you're learning all of these languages, a bit of French, German, and Spanish. So a polyglot, I would say in French. Thank you, Michelle. Then we have Benita, who's the student counselor of the team. It's important to state that she's also independent, so she's not full part of the staff. That means that she cannot disclose what she's discussing with you to the rest of the team. So if you need someone to talk to, Benita is there for you. She speaks fluent Dutch and English, and actually it's incomplete because she also speaks perfect French. Then there is more than just the core staff. There is obviously the cleaning team that you probably saw around a little bit already. Idris and Erma, so it's thanks to them that the school will stay clean even during a heavy duty during the piscine. So they're going to clean the place a lot of times every day. I'm going to tell you a bit more about that in a minute. But that's thanks to these two lovely people that the school will stay clean. We also have a security team. So this morning you probably met with our friendly Edwin up there, but the team is a bit larger. We also have Gwen, Patrick, Marianne, and Miraldo, who are going to be there every day to make sure that you are welcomed and that the place is safe. So, I could not finish the presentation of the staff if I did not introduce the cat. So, if you want to come here, please mind the distance, 1.5 meters, everyone, please. So here with me this morning, I have Noor, Nikki, Imre, and Oscar, but you probably saw that there is at least one assistant in each of the rooms who's making sure that everything is fine with you. So the assistants are there to help you, to provide support, to help you with the computer and so on. They are students, that mean that they already went through this selection piscine, they know what they're talking about, so please take the time to meet them. They are going to be really valuable for you during this whole experience. Thank you very much. So, that was the round of introduction. So, if you don't remember everyone, it's not a big deal, don't worry, you will get used to us, and we'll also make sure to share this presentation, at least the slides, with you afterwards, so don't bother trying to screen capture the presentation or record anything, it's coming your way. So, the next section is usually not part of this presentation. As you know, the times are a bit strange lately. For the past few months, the world is facing the coronavirus crisis, and obviously, Codam has not been spared. At some point, we really wondered if it was possible at all to have this selection piscine. We brainstormed a lot, we studied a lot about it as well, and eventually we realized that yes, indeed it was possible, but at a cost. And the cost was that we had to make sure that the building was properly equipped and that the staff was properly trained to make sure that the situation could be okay. So that means that, for instance, this morning, all the checking time, the queuing, that's something we don't have, but it was important that we could welcome you in the safest way as possible, to make sure that all the people here are healthy and to make sure that you understand right away how it's going to work. So during this part, I'm going to dive much more in details about all the rules and regulations that you will have to respect, but at least this morning, you could have a taste of how it's going to be. I know it's not going to be easy, but we have to do it all together. One of the core ideas of Codam is that the students have to work together, to learn from each other. And it is the same for you, the candidates. You're about to engage for an amazing experience, and the people around you, the community of candidates, is absolutely paramount in your success. But with the situation, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. You have to respect the distance, you have to clean everything. I'm counting on you to make it work. This situation can be a success if you want to be it to be a success, sorry. Okay, the chain is always as strong as the weakest link. So we're counting on you to make sure that everything stays secure, stays clean, and that you respect all the rules. So, first, the main information that we have to state out loud. If you or someone you live with has the symptoms of a cold, namely running nose, sneezing, sore throat, mild cough, and some temperature, you stay at home, please. Okay? Even if it's a false alarm, you do stay at home. Missing a couple days of the piscine is not a deal breaker. Okay? It's not a big deal. So I want you to be safe at home if necessary. Then you warn René de Roon, that you met a minute ago. René is the main contact point for anything related to this health crisis. So if anything is suspicious, please inform René. He'll make sure that the rest of the team is informed and that we can act if necessary. Then get tested. You can get in touch with your practitioner to get the test done. And then, of course, please inform us of the result. Obviously, only the result related to the virus. We don't want to know about your private life. So, this being said, I know it's obvious, but you have to really, really stick to that. Please, please, please. If someone is sick, that could jeopardize the whole experience. Then, regarding the hygienes, please do read and respect the hygiene and safety rules. You can find them displayed a little bit everywhere in the building. You also have a document that has been provided on the desktop of your session that will explain everything thoroughly. So please give it a good read. Also, do use the hand sanitizer everywhere and clean your hands thoroughly several times per day. Okay? Hand sanitizer is good to kill the germs and so on, but it's also not good for the skin. So regular hand washing with a proper soap is always a good option. And it is a common responsibility. As I said, this is going to work if everyone play ball. So mind the hygiene rules and be responsible. Then, instead of speaking about everything for hours and trying to show you with slides and diagrams, we decided to have a little video with you all through Imre over there, who is giving a little tour of the building. So Imre is going to explain you a bit how it works, what you can do, where you should walk, and so on.
Hi, welcome. I'm Imra, and I'll be showing you around Codam to see how Codam students will be studying during Corona. They can come here if they book via an online application. They can come here between 7 and 11. They can spend the whole day studying, and we currently have spot for 86 students. So let's go inside and see how it looks. Before you enter, we have a hand sanitation station where you can sanitize your hands, and you can use your card to access the building. And then we simply just follow the arrows towards the downstairs cluster. Here we have the whiteboard room, which is a space to work together to make sure that peer-to-peer learning is still very doable, even with the 1.5 meter distance. We continue onwards where we have the wardrobes taped off, but students can leave their stuff at their station with the computer. We have the coffee machine, which students can still use, but they have to take outside, and of course, a place to wash your hands. Then before we enter, you have another space to sanitize your hands. And we have 2 doors. So one is for entering and one is for exiting. So we'll be entering through this door. And in the cluster, the computers have been clearly marked to show where you can and where you cannot sit. So obviously these are unavailable. And we have lines dividing the workstations. And it works in a way where you come in, you pick up a computer and a mouse from the green bin, and then you sit behind any computer that shows green. That means that it's clean and that it's available for you. You take a break, or you work and you just put it on your table because it's your station, it's yours. And then when you're done with the day, pick it up, flip it over. It's red, and the cleaning staff knows that it has to be cleaned, and you take your mouse and computer and put it in the red bin for anybody else to be used / cleaned. Sorry, that can be cut. And then we exit the cluster through this door. And we have another hand sanitation station. And the bathrooms are here and completely for use, except for the showers, which are closed off for now, but make sure to keep your distance even in the bathroom. This has been closed off, but we'll take this route. Sorry. And then here we have the evaluation stations where you can have an eval with 1.5 meter distance. You just sit on either sides of the table, and here goes the same. Green, you can use it. Red, you cannot. And with a little zooming in, you'll be fine. We're currently moving all the chairs out of here to make sure that there's enough space. And then if you want to go upstairs, you simply follow the arrows. And you go upstairs where you have another cluster and another evaluation station set up. But imagine you have guests or you want to go by bulk. We have spaces set up where you can sit and spaces set up where you cannot sit. Yes. So a space where you can sit and a space where you cannot. And then here we have a line marking where you can stand if you have a question for the security to make sure they also stay safe. And then this is bulk out, where we'll be sanitizing our hands yet another time. And then if you have a question for a staff member, you can just take a seat on the couch, and whenever somebody is available, they'll come and wait with you. Yeah. And then you exit the building just the opposite way that you came in. And you should be fine. I fell. That was charming. Oh, well, oh gosh, the picnic tables, of course. Yay! So imagine you want to have a drink, you want to have a break, it's really sunny outside. You can just take a seat at one of the tables, of course, keeping your distance. And you can have a coffee, have a drink.
Thank you very much, Imre. That was a very nice video. We love it, really. So, a couple of things have been updated since we shot this video about a month ago. No, first, the capacity of the building is slightly higher. It's not 86 anymore. No, we have to 104. And also, I noticed that the showers are not forbidden anymore. The showers are available for you in the bathroom, so that they are fine to use. So this is not correct anymore. And also, you probably noticed when you arrived this morning that there is a relaxation area, whatever, tables, lunch tables in the lobby. It's obviously fine to use. They were not there at the time of this video. Did I forget something? No? Okay. Thank you. So, thank you, Imre. Let's move on. So, as you could see, the workstations have a green or red card. Green means that you can use it. It has been cleaned. Red means that it has not been cleaned yet, so you cannot use it. And it's obviously up to you to flip the card when necessary. In case, well, I doubt about it, but in case every available stations are red, please notify the staff. We'll make sure that the cleaning team is going to clean the stations ASAP, but that should not happen. Then regarding keyboards and mice, when you arrive, you take a clean keyboard and mouse from the green box. They are cleaned, and you're supposed to use the same keyboard and mouse whole day long. And when you're done with your day, you return them into the red box, and they will be cleaned. Again, if it happens that the green bin is empty, please let us know. We'll make sure that the equipment is cleaned. Then, The evaluation. So Imre mentioned quickly the evaluation places, spots in the building. That is during regular use of the building. For the piscines, it's going to be a little bit different. What is not different is that these places are reserved for evaluation. However, these places are also perfectly fine for regular usage, okay? The only thing important is that these seats are in priority for evaluations. Kat will explain thoroughly about evaluations in a bit, but the point is that if you need to do an evaluation with something, you have to use one of these places in priority, okay? If all of the spots are used, then it is okay to ask the person there to use the computer instead of them, so you can do your evaluation. Obviously, after that, it is fine to stay there and keep working. We'll just make sure that the place is clean before you start. Okay? So that's just a little bit of an habit to take, but after a couple of days, it's going to go smooth. Then, regarding the cleaning of the place, there is a general cleaning of the whole building 3 times per day. The doorknobs of every doors of the building are cleaned every hour. That doesn't mean you should not clean your hand, but just so you know. The toilets are cleaned 3 times a day. The keyboards and mice are cleaned after each use, the ones that are in the red box. The red market workstation are cleaned 3 times a day, and if necessary more, but from our experience, 3 times a day should be enough. And then the coffee machines are cleaned once a day. So please, still wash your hand and respect the rules, but this is for your information. Then, consequences, because these rules are really important. If someone disrespects the rules and brings the virus here, it could jeopardize the whole piscine. That's why the security has been instructed to enforce these rules. They are going to be really strict about that. You have to keep your distances with people and respect the good usage of the equipment and the building. If you don't, the security could request you to leave the building for today. And if this happens several times and we understand that you're not playing ball, I could ask you to leave the piscine permanently. Then, so you know up front, we're doing everything we can to make it work. And I'm confident that it's going to work. But I want you to know up front that if the situation arises, I can take the decision to whether switch to an online piscine. That means that everyone would be sent home. If you can work from home, then you can continue with the piscine. If you cannot, we'll suspend your piscine and you will be invited later for another selection piscine. Or I can just cancel it. I really hope I will not have to do that, but I want you to understand that if it is necessary, if for your health and safety it is necessary, I will make this decision. Okay, so that was it for all the special measures. Hopefully, I hope it makes sense. I also hope that it's going to make you feel safe in this space. It showed us for all of us. So now I would like to tell you a little bit more about the building so you know what to expect and where to go, because so far I imagine that you just entered the building, had a quick tour maybe during the checking at the time, but since you went straight to your seat and you don't know much about the place. So just to give you a little bit of an idea of the place as a whole. So this is the ground floor. This is the entrance over there. This is where we welcomed you. So from left to right, we have the ground floor cluster, hi to the ground floor cluster. Then over there you have the bathrooms, male and female bathroom. And over there you have the server room, the little pantry, the whiteboard room, that is usually supposed to be the video game room, but lately it has been transformed into a whiteboard room, so you can still work together. Over there is the ground floor open space, hi to the ground floor open space. Over there, the main space, so there is supposed to be a giant checkboard over there, but sadly it's been disabled for the time because we need the space. Hopefully, when you will be selected, it will be usable again. The stairs to come to the first floor. the, let's say, lunch relaxing area over there with all the tables where you could have lunch in case it's raining. Otherwise, it will be over there with the outdoor lunch area. This is the guard's desk where you can go if you don't know where to go and what to ask. And here's the entrance to the staff room, to the bocal. So you will wait here, as you could see on Imre's video, and someone from the staff will come to you and help you if you have a request. Now, for the first floor, when you arrive from the stair over there, so on the left side, you have the first floor cluster, the first floor cluster. Then here, this room, it's completely useless for you. It's just machinery and equipment for the air conditioning. Over there, we have a bathroom, here another bathroom, some technical rooms over there that you don't need to worry about. Here you have 2 meeting rooms, the blue one, the purple one. They are completely useless to you right now, but later, when you will be students, you know where they are. And here we have a little cozy space with just 2 stations. So hi to the 2 people on these 2 stations. You're going to have a cozy piscine together. Here you have the library where you can sit, read a book, drink a tea. The little bridge with the light wells over there. Here is the first floor open space. Hi to the first floor open space just behind the wall. So this first floor open space and the ground floor open space are the 2 spaces for evaluations that we mentioned earlier. And here is the auditorium where I'm speaking from right now. Hi to the people from the auditorium this morning. Okay, so let's move on. The building is open and accessible to you from 7 in the morning to 11 in the evening. There will be a security guard on site at all times. Usually it is always 24/7, like we never close. But given the condition, I decided to implement a curfew to make sure that you get home and you get some sleep, because the piscine can be really demanding on you. So to minimize the risk of becoming weak and catching a virus, any virus actually, any disease, I decided to cancel the nights for most of the days. However, for Fridays and Saturday evenings, because of the special activities that happened at that time, the building is going to be open and accessible to you 24 hours. So it's okay to stay at night, and obviously the security will be there with you all night long. The building is not open to the public. We will not accept any visitors. So sadly, you cannot show Codam to your friends or family here. It's not possible right now. You always have to carry your personal badge to enter the building, but also inside the building. For us, it's like your identity card. If you have this card with you, we can prove that you're a candidate here. So always carry your badge with you, and only with that badge can you enter and exit the building. And that is only through the gates, the speed lanes that you discovered this morning. Then, regarding fire safety, please take the time to have a look to the evacuation maps that you can find all around the building. And I'm telling you up front that we will do at least 1 fire drill during the selection piscine. Obviously, we are not telling you when, but if you hear the alarm going off, I'm not sure, off, then you have to exit the building according to the rules. So please have a look to these rules. And obviously, please do report any incident to the security guard so we can act if necessary. So, thank you very much for your attention. I'm going to give the stage to Kat for the second part of this presentation, much more about what defines Codam and what defines a selection piscine. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'll speak to you later. Bye-bye.
Hi, is it working, the mic? Good. So as you saw, we're taking the hygiene rules very seriously. So please do the same. Okay, so now let's get to the heart of the topic, the piscine. how it happens, how you're supposed to be behaving in the piscine. We'll go, all the technical details, we'll go over everything, so please bear with me. I know this is a long presentation, but there's a lot of information we have to give you to make sure all of these goes smoothly. So, general behavior. What are you supposed to do, not to do, etc. First, please follow staff instructions, whether it is during an evacuation drill or whether it is about the piscine content. Trust us, we've been doing lots of piscines already, so if we give you instructions, chances are we know what we're talking about, so please trust us. Also, the values that we are trying to defend here at Codam. We're not just about letting people learn how to code, we're also about creating a community that is safe and welcoming to everyone and where people can grow, feel free to make mistakes and learn and grow as human beings and as developers. So please be respectful, please be kind to each other, also because you're going to need friends if you're going to survive this piscine. So be friendly right to begin with, it will save you a lot of time and effort. So yeah, be open and of goodwill. You are just a beginner, maybe you've already been coding for a while, but you are definitely a beginner to our style of learning. So just accept it, embrace it, it's fine. Start again from scratch and you'll have a lot of fun. And please take good care of yourself. So obviously with the whole corona situation, but also in the piscine, it is intense, there's a lot of work to do, you're gonna get super motivated, you're gonna want to work all night with your friends and it's gonna be awesome. But please do remember to sleep, eat regularly, not only junk food, you know, that kind of thing. Shower, please, every day if possible. Change your clothes every day if possible. So, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, you probably think it's weird now, but let's talk about it in 3 weeks from now. You'll understand what I mean. Then, that is very, very important. No harassment of any kind will be tolerated. No discrimination of any kind will be tolerated. We are very strict when it comes to sexism, racism, homophobia, LGBTQI plus phobia, ableism, so pretty much anything of that sort. So please, be respectful, it's important. The next point is also very important, no romantic attention. You may find the love of your life during the piscine, and I hope so, and I am very happy for you. Or you may just find someone you have a huge crush on, and again, I'm very happy for you. But please, don't tell them, don't act upon it after the end of the piscine, yeah? I know this will come as a shock to some people, but nobody's here because they wanted to meet you, personally. I know, it's harsh. But people are here because they want to learn, people are here because they want to code, people are here because they want to get into the school of their dreams, not because they wanted to meet you. So if you do meet people and you have a good connection, awesome, wait until the end of the piscine. Towards the end of the piscine, you're going to start being friends with people, you're going to have WhatsApp groups, whatever, Discords, whatever. And then you use these private means that people have shared with consent to contact them after. So obviously you're not supposed to be using all the contact informations you get on the intranet for private purposes. So no stalking on the intra, that's what I mean. Also, intimacy is not allowed in the premises. So first of all, you're not supposed to try to interact in that kind of way with people in the piscine, but even if, let's say, you arrived as a couple, yeah, not here, please. Please also do report any incident to the staff. And I want also to make it clear here, usually huge majority, numeric majority of the time, the cases we've had were more boys bothering girls. But we also had cases of girls bothering boys, and of course non-binary people bothering other people. That happens, you never know. The idea is, if you're not feeling comfortable with the way somebody else is behaving with you, please come to us, let's talk about it. We're not going to burn anybody alive in a public place, we're not going to shame anybody. We just want to talk about it, see how we can fix the situation and make sure everybody can move forward with their piscine, because that's what we're here for. And yeah, I just wanted to insist on that because it's important that everybody, whatever their gender, can feel safe coming to us and telling us that they're not comfortable with somebody else's behavior. So I know I insisted a lot about that, and yeah, obviously no means no. So please, yeah, please just don't put a post-it saying, hey, want to have a date with me on somebody's keyboard. Yeah, please don't do that. It happened. Don't do that. That's the general idea. So we haven't had any case of theft so far, but you never know. So please be responsible for your belongings. Don't bring unnecessary items. If there's something missing, it's probably just because you lost it somewhere. You report it to the staff. Just be sure that you've searched everywhere, and then we can even maybe look at the cams if necessary. But just so you know. Obviously, the law of the land applies here. So all the laws that are applicable in the Netherlands are applicable here. With a little bit of an extra, the possession of and use of alcohol is forbidden in the building, same for drugs. You can only, you can't come into Codam if you're under influence. So yeah, I mean, that should be quite obvious, but you never know. And if you want to smoke, the smoking area, cigarettes, the smoking area at the bike shed. Yeah, and obviously, yeah, you respect the 1.5 meters, but yeah. Another important one, please respect the facilities. So yeah, a lot of these slides are really just about respect, but directed at different aims. That's important. Irman, Idris, you'll meet them, they're adorable, they're really awesome people, and they work super hard to make sure all of this place stays clean and comfortable and nice for all of us. So please be respectful. They're not here to pick up your trash after you. They're not here to clean after your lunch. So do that yourself, please. Yeah, we can't tolerate people who are not respectful towards the cleaning stuff. Yeah. Cluster, very important. So this is, yeah, what actually risks happening. We've never had people being disrespectful to, yeah. But this could happen, and it could be because you're not paying attention. So, I don't know if you heard that in the recording, but somebody's phone was just ringing. Nice tune, by the way. So, yes, in the clusters, super important. Be careful. You're not allowed to bring food and drinks in the cluster. You can have a bottle of water at your feet, yeah? Not on the table. I insist very much on that because also it happens. If you push the bottle and it starts spilling all over the keyboard and the iMac, that costs a couple of €1,000. It's a bit of an issue. So let's make sure that does not happen. And yes, we say that because it did happen. So no bottles of water on the table, no jack headphones. You already know that you need to have a USB adapter. And that's a very simple reason. The jack plug is right in front of the motherboard on these iMacs. So if too many people use the jack phones, it will screw up the motherboard at some point, which is an issue because then again, a couple of €1,000 iMac, so let's not destroy them. No video games in the clusters. If you're in the cluster, you're there to work, to study, not to play video games, even though the screens are amazing, I'll admit, but that's not the point. Super, super, super important, and even more with all the corona measures, don't let anyone else use your keyboard. Something that happens often in the piscine is that someone is trying to help someone else and they take the keyboard and they start typing. No. Well, actually, we had also people trying to that as a pickup method. Doesn't work, please don't. So really very important, because if you let someone else type something for you, you will think you know what it's about and you don't. With programming, understanding what you're doing or what someone else did and actually doing something yourself are two completely different things. So you're going to see somebody code something, do something, and you think you understand, and because you understand, you think it's enough. It isn't. Everything that you're not writing yourself, you don't actually master. So it's super important. Obviously, with Corona, that shouldn't happen at all. But yeah, Generally speaking, same if somebody sends you a bit of their code, it's kind. You can look at it, but don't copy-paste it, yeah? It's really about creating your own code, and that's how you learn. So, the break areas, the pantry, yeah, all the resting and lunching areas, it's a bit different now because of all the layouts, but there are mainly two areas for you. The picnic tables outside, if it's not pouring rain, which hopefully will happen this summer, and the picnic tables inside. They're right next to the security desk and to the stairs. You can go there. Of course, you're still supposed to respect the 1.5 meter thingy. If you want to have coffee, you can also go into the round of couches and everything. So again, you're not supposed to bring anything else in the cluster. I think David changed my slides. There was something about pickles. Yes, please don't bring pickles in the cluster. Oh yeah, beautiful, thank you. Don't bring pickles in the cluster. I'm saying that because, sorry, I thought you mixed my slides, but you didn't. I know. So yes, I'm saying that because someone did break a jar of pickles in the cluster. So first of all, why pickles? Then please don't do that. Also, don't try to microwave bread. You know the bread that you do in the oven? Yeah, don't, because then it catches fire, there's smoke everywhere. Again, that happened. So please be careful, generally speaking. So the coffee machines and the microwave you can use, but to go only. You can't linger around, you have to go to one of the designated areas. Mind the fridge, you can totally use a fridge, put your food in there. The rules are on it, so it's quite straightforward. But be careful, because once a week, everything that is in the fridge and that is not claimed is just thrown away. So be careful. Wipe everything you touch. Yes, that's very important. That's a special Corona rule. Obviously, if you use the microwave, the fridge, the whatever, just clean after yourself. Okay, that one is for Thomas. You have your personal credentials, so you log in and your password. Do not ever, ever, ever share your password with anybody. Do not write it down on a piece of paper. You're starting to learn about tech. Maybe you are already familiar with all of this. Maybe you're just beginning. Don't ever share your password. And I insist, because it happens that sometimes the candidates trust us so much that they want to give us their password. Don't. Not to us, not to anybody. Super important. Do respect the computers. Obviously, you have very nice equipment. Don't, I don't know, punch the screen if you're angry or anything, or if you're hungry, actually. Yes, be kind to the computers. Love the computer, and the computer will love you. It's obviously forbidden to hack or even to try to hack the devices and networks. If you do, Thomas will find out and he will not be happy. If you want to have internet for the next 10 years, do not make Thomas unhappy. I'm just barely exaggerating here. You should report any attempt to the staff, and yeah, it's also forbidden to unplug the equipment. You can't brute force the restart of the computers. If you want to do any of this, you ask us, you ask Thomas, and only with our permission you can do that. It's important to maintain the security and the quality of a network. So now that I've given you a huge list of things that you shouldn't do, I know, starting with the negative, it's always awesome. What happens if you don't do these things? We have several options to give sanctions. If you do something that is really damaging for the school, you can be suspended or you can be excluded even. That is extreme. That is only if you assault someone or if you are extremely disrespectful and it keeps happening even after we've talked about it. If you're cheating, again, even if you're cheating at first, you probably won't know you're cheating. You will be doing it of good faith. We'll talk about it. If you keep doing it knowing that it is cheating, then we can declare your suspension or exclusion. For regular issues like having a bottle of water on your table, because of course you will forget it, or you will forget about it at first, we give community services. The idea is that if you do something that is damaging to the community, then you have to give back to the community. And your account will be closed until you choose a date. Then that date, you're supposed to be at the bocal at 5 minutes before 10. And then for 2 hours, we're going to give you something to do, like making sure people sanitize their hands when they enter the building, or, you know, that kind of thing, to make sure that it's useful for the community, but yeah, just to remind you that it's important. And it's not the end of the world if you get community service. It happens to very nice people sometimes. The guide, that one is important. It is already on your desktop, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Piscine, COVID-19 special. So the idea with this is that it is more thorough than the guide you received already in your email. It has been a bit condensed with our COVID-19 edition. So please read it again. From Wednesday on, we'll consider it read. So all the things that could cause you to get community service, for instance, we'll consider from Wednesday on that you're supposed to know about them. That means no community service for the first 2 days, and then we start giving them around. Health, important, always important. So as David said, if you're sick for a couple of days, it's not the end of the world. You can still get on with the piscine and you'll be fine. If you're sick for more than 3 or 4 days in a row, whether it's COVID or not, let me know. Because then we have to see if maybe it is impacting your piscine or not. We'll see how it goes, if you can come back at all, because sometimes, sickness can take a lot of time to recover from. So we'll assess each situation individually. If you're completely paralyzed during your piscine because of some kind of illness for like 2 or 3 weeks, then we'll give you another shot in another piscine later. But we have to know about it. If you have intense health issues that could impact your results, same thing, please let me know. It's important that we're aware of your situation, of your circumstances, so that we can help and support you if needed. If you have any mental health issues, and I know that can be a tricky, sensitive topic, but sadly, anxiety issues, depression issues, all of this, it is very prevalent amongst the general population, but particularly younger people. So it happens, you're not the only one. If you don't have already somebody, a shrink, somebody to talk to about it, please see Benita. Because obviously it's the kind of thing that has an impact on your studies and that has an impact on your overall health. So let's take it seriously. It is a serious topic, and I want to be sure that everybody is cared for properly. Okay, that was all for the Code of Conduct. Communication channels, that is what you're supposed to be checking every day. So you will be getting emails from Lisa, pretty much every day, community emails, and there will be news on the Slack, at least once a day. So at least once a day you have to check these, and you probably check these a lot more than once a day. So it's very important that you're connected to Slack. Normally we've all asked you when you entered if you were, and so far I think everybody was. Also for your email, if you're not getting the emails, it happens sometimes with some providers like Hotmail, Outlook, Live, that kind of thing. If you're not getting the email, the safest way is to switch to Gmail, because we know they are letting our emails go through. You can try other addresses, but Gmail is the safest. So just be sure that you get everything. And now the piscine. Bless you. It had to happen. It's kind of a thing. Imre has to sneeze at least once in the presentations. Yeah, kind of a thing. Okay, so this is pretty exciting because you're going to be the first cohort, the first group of candidates to do the new piscine. We had a different system before. You will be the very first ones on this new system, so we're very excited to see how it goes. This new system has been implemented in Paris and in some of our other sister schools for a year and a half now. So we know it has been tested, it has been proved, so to speak, in other campuses, but it's the first time we are having it here. So we're very excited to see how it goes. Still 4 weeks long, 7 days per week. Yeah, the weekends won't really be an option during the piscine. They will be later in the curriculum, but not in the piscine. You will discover coding with C. So if you have questions about why C, for some of you that may have previous experience in programming, because it's cool, because it's low level, because it's intense and difficult, and it will teach you so much about programming that you would never learn with higher level languages. And also because even the people who have previous experience in coding usually don't have previous experience in C. So that also levels the playing field for everyone. So you'll see, it's cool. And we start from scratch, but like really from scratch. So it's perfectly fine if you have 0 previous experience, like I did when I did my piscine back in 2015. You can start from nothing, and I mean not being able to use an iMac at all, from being, you know, a programmer, which is pretty cool. The intra, that is going to be your Bible for the next 4 weeks. It's really our main education tool. You can find all the content you need over there. You're probably logged in there already because you were all settled in before this presentation. You will see the profile, your profile, how you are progressing, but also the profile of the other candidates, and you will manage the evaluations through the intra. There are several types of activities that you will be engaging into during this presentation, during this month. The first and the main one is going to be the cells. So each, well, I'll go in detail with the next slide. Then you have the rushes during the weekends, the machine exams every week, and the project, you'll see. So the cells, they are a set of short assignments to discover a theme or a notion. They are really grouped by theme. You will be introduced to a notion, you will get better and better as you do the exercises, and you will, go more in depth in each topic. And each topic builds on the previous ones. So you go through, you start at the beginning, and then you build up on what you've been learning before. There's tutorial videos. You can find the link on the project page on the intra. The rushes, that is cool. So they're a short project, more difficult than the cells, more elaborate, more complex. So the cells, you can do them on your own time. You start with the first 2, and then once you've validated, I think the 0, you can get to the 02, the 01, you can get to the 03, etc., etc. So you have, you need to validate the cells to move on, but you can at the same time always be working on 2, 3 different cells, so that you can, we can be sure that you are mastering a notion before you move to the next, and you build up on that. The rushes, they are timed. They start on Friday at 8:42 in the evening, and they finish on Sunday at 11:42 in the evening. The teams are random. That is the really cool part about the rushes, because working in teams is super difficult. But when you're not even choosing who you're working with, it is really horribly difficult. So that's the point. That's the whole point of the rushes. It's going to be tough to work with people you don't know, but it's also going to be super interesting. You're going to be learning a lot. So do engage in that, have fun. It's going to be cool. And the evaluations are going to be done by the assistant team, and by David and by me. So it's also going to be a nice moment for us to share with you, talk with you. It's pretty cool. Machine exams, very important. So they are called machine exams because it's you and the machine, and that's it. You will not have access, you will be logged onto special OSX sessions, you will not have access to the internet, you will not have access to your peers, you will be alone with your computer. And for 4 hours, except the final exam, which is 8 hours, you will be coding. I know, 8 hours seems long, but actually it was the favorite part of my piscine. I loved it. It's awesome. It's quiet. It's peaceful. You can just focus on your code and you can run through the entire day. It's awesome. So it's really, really cool. It's a way for us to check what you're able to do completely alone, like what you have, what you remember, which resources you can use in the machine to find your way around the exercises, what you're capable of when there's nobody to back you up. So that's really interesting. And the project, the infamous BSQ. It's about a week long, the final week. It is a real challenge. It's definitely one step higher than what you've been doing, what you will have been doing before. It's the first taste of a longer program. It's a group project, but you can choose your mate on this one, and it is really cool. So, yeah, when you get to the end of the piscine, to the 4th week of the piscine, and you look back to what you couldn't do in the first week, you will be amazed, because you will have learned so much you never knew you could have learned that much. The evaluations, that is super, super important. There are 2 ways to evaluate projects. Hi, Oscar. There are 2 ways to evaluate projects. Deep Thought, the moulinette, it will run on your code and it will check the results, and you can't negotiate with the moulinette. Most of the time it will give you 0, it's fine. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but yeah, it is merciless, but it is fair. So trust the moulinette. Also, peer evaluations, super important. Super important because that's one of the pillars of peer-to-peer learning, which is what we're doing here. Go a bit more in depth. You can't do remote peer evaluations in the piscine. It has to be a physical meeting, obviously with a 1.5 meter distance. The scales you will find on the intranet. You'll see the system to get evaluated is not complicated. The system to set slots to say, hey, I can evaluate somebody this day between that hour and that hour. It's also not very complicated. The intranet will match an evaluator and an evaluee. You don't have control over that. It's completely random. It's important that you're on time for your evaluations because, well, it's important to respect everybody's time. Yeah, so you also have to be on time to evaluate your peers. To go through the evaluations, you have a currency, the evaluation points. It really functions like a currency. You have 5 points to begin with, and then you earn 1 point when you evaluate someone, and you spend 1 point when you are evaluated. No refunds, sorry. There are sales, though, that are automatically triggered when there's not enough liquidity on the market, but it shouldn't happen during a piscine. You'll see, it's going to be fun. So yes, Deep Thought, it's automatic, it has a lot of years of experience, it's not wrong. You often going to believe it is wrong, especially at the beginning. It's not, you are, but it's okay, it will get better. And it does send you feedback trace by email. So that's also cool because you can learn to read the feedback sent by the software. So, to little overview, the cells, they have to be peer evaluated and Deep Thought runs on them. The rushes, neither, because it's us who will evaluate you. The exam, well, no peer evaluation, of course, it's only Deep Thought because it's all automatic. And project is going to be like the cells, peer evaluation and Deep Thought. Yes, that's going to be fun. How to get your work evaluated? Well, first you need to submit your work. You will see there is a whole process for that. You don't know how it works yet, it's fine, you will. Then you get peer evaluated, then Deep Thought grades your work, and then a final grade is computed by the computer, by the internet. So it's really in steps. First you hand it in, then first round of eval, second round of eval, and final grade. With this piscine, every time you fail a project, you can just retry it. And that's also how we function in the curriculum. Again, we're trying to go against this whole fear of failure thingy, which can be quite penalizing for a lot of students. So if you fail, yeah, you fail, no big deal, you just start again. And yes, You will fail a lot, especially at the beginning, because you're supposed to either give a point if the assignment is perfect or not if it's not perfect. So an assignment is either right or wrong. No middle ground here, no room for negotiation. And you stop counting the points at the first error. That is super important. As an evaluator, you have to be very strict from the beginning. That will lead to lots of zeros. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. The thing is that you have to keep learning from it. Otherwise, it's a waste of everybody's time. It just means if you get 0 that you're not thorough enough. And you will see, especially at first, you will forget tiny details. You will have worked so hard on a project and you will get failed because of one tiny thing you didn't check. I can assure you that thing, you will check it again and again and again in all your next projects and you won't be failed on that again. That is the point. Practice more, be more thorough, and it will be fine. So as I said earlier, accept to be a beginner. It is important. Even if you have been coding before, you haven't been coding in this environment, you probably haven't been coding in C, so it's okay to start from scratch. What we see, it's the only case when people who have previous experience really fail their piscine is when they get too cocky. And they think they can roll over the exercises. And in the beginning they can, until they can't. And then it gets hard because they didn't learn to deal with this frustration of not knowing already everything that's happening. If you have 0 experience, you will have that frustration from the start, so you will learn about it and how to manage it from the start, and it will be easier later. So be careful about that, don't be too cocky. Also important, no, not everyone else is better than you. Like, really not. If you start feeling like that, maybe ask around, because it is very likely that everybody else around you is feeling exactly the same thing. Like, everybody's better than me, I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah. Having no idea what you're doing is normal. You can go through that for your entire piscine and frankly through your entire curriculum as well. It's fine. As long as you keep progressing and then you can look back and you understand afterwards what you were doing before, then it's fine. Yeah, just keep trying. You should be perfectly fine. So, quick overview of the weeks. Started at 8:42. Of course, after this presentation is going to be a bit later than that. But you have plenty of time to work on your cells all week long. The exams are on the Friday evenings, 6 to 10 p.m. And the rushes, as I said, are in the weekends. So that's going to be your first 2 weeks. Then, third week, the project, the BSQ, starts on the Friday morning. So Friday, you will have still your cells to work on, the BSQ that starts, the exam, and the rush that starts. That's going to be funny. Then you finish with your cells and with your project, the BSQ on the same day. I insist because then on Thursday, it gives you time for the evaluations. So the cells don't have a deadline. So technically you could keep working on the cells on Thursday, but I advise you to keep that day for evaluations and prepping for the final exam. But then again, it's up to you to see how you use your time. And of course, the beautiful final exam, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., it will be awesome. For the rest of the information, the desktop, on the desktop of your session, you have all the files you need to get started. Here, on this keynote, there's a link. Literally here, this is a hyperlink. We'll share that with you on Slack if we haven't already. If you click that link, you will get to the introduction videos to how to use the intra, and you can go over the basics. It's all in French, sorry, but there are English subtitles. If, by the way, you see at some point that there aren't English subtitles or that they don't make sense, please ping us. We'll fix that ASAP. Another important thing, before I let you go, is about cheating. I just realized that there should definitely be a slide in here for that. It is important. At first, you will not know that you are cheating, if you do, because it can be tempting to just copy-paste code and you understand it and you push it and you think it's okay. Every code that you haven't written yourself, that you haven't created through your sweat and tears, sort of, every code that isn't yours, if you push that, it is cheating. And that's very important because you will really, again, understanding someone else's code and knowing what you're doing and being capable of doing it yourself are two completely different things. At first, you will be tempted to just copy-paste. When you're completely new to code, it's very understandable, but take the time to really write it yourself. You will see a good test is, are you able to rewrite an exercise, a function, a program that you handed in without looking at anything else? If you're not able to do that, start again. Because you're not here to please anybody. You're not here to please your parents. We don't even give diplomas. I'm sure they're not pleased with that. You're not here to please the teachers. There are no teachers. You're here to please yourself. Well, to please yourself, yeah. You're here for yourself, to please your aspirations, to learn more. You're here, yeah, for your career maybe, for your studies. You're here to learn. So be sure to learn by yourself, for yourself, with your peers, yeah? That almost sounded like a motivational speech. I should put that on a background photo of a sunset and put that, yeah, God. Okay, this being said, thank you very much for your attention. I know it has been a very long presentation. Oh yeah, before I forget, if you received assistance from Rose, you've probably been in touch with Rose already. For VR Hostel, there's a meeting tomorrow, Tuesday at 2 p.m. in the auditorium, because she's not here in person today. For the travel reimbursement, please submit the grant form this week. It's very important. Afterwards, we can't reimburse you anymore, so please don't forget. And there are a few spots left in the hostel, so if you need a room, a bed, you can always contact Rose. And now it's good. Okay, so Oscar, I will give you the floor. And the rounds of questions, there won't be a round of questions this time, but you can ask all of us questions in clusters, and yeah, we'll be there. And I'll give you the mic once I clean it. There you go.
Hi guys, welcome to Codam. I am not from Codam, but it is working, right? Okay, I hear myself well, right? Sound check, yes, toch? Yeah. All right, welcome to Codam. I don't work here, but I do a business for you. It's a restaurant, a nice place to come, eat and hang around. It's just around the corner, called Canteen. It's open from 11 to 11 every day, and it's for you. You're every day welcome to eat something there. It can be a dish of the day, every day different. It's downstairs, there's a blackboard for daily planning of the dish of the day. It's for everyone €10, it's for you 5. And if you want to eat something else, you will get a 25% reduction as well. So you are very welcome to come. And there's also a nice playground downstairs with a pool and old school arcades and what else? We have a football table and nice terrace, nice views if there is sun again ever. And we are here for you to help and make this process even better. All right? Questions? You know where it is? No? Just there. You go, the door is here, entrance. You go out, left, 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 and end of this street at the water. Very nice place. I work there very proudly. Nice team, nice people, and you make it even nicer. Exactly. And put Google review, 5-star at least, then you might get some reduction as well. No, I'm just kidding. And yeah, good to have you here, guys. Yeah, we were waiting for that for a long time, and they really worked hard for it. So enjoy and make your future happen, right? Okay, cheers.
Thank you very much, Osgur. So, I'm going to say the closing words for now. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope it was really informative. Again, we're going to provide you with this presentation, so do not worry if you missed a couple of stuff. So, now, the piscine is officially started, so you can log on and try with the first assignments. I wish you the best, and we'll be around to help you. All the best. Bye-bye. Good luck.